Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the law of attraction and some of my experiences with it. But I feel vastly underqualified to be making this video. I'm very new to the law of attraction. I've recently been getting into it and putting it into practice and seeing some results, but I'm by no means an expert. By the way, excuse the weather. The weather is crazy today. There is sunshine, there is deep cloud. We are supposed to be having thunderstorms. So the light's going to change and there may be noise from outside, so just bear with me. So to sum up the law of attraction, which is laid out in the book and the movie The Secret, which I have not read and I have not watched, but there's a quote from it which kind of sums up what the idea is, and it says, "Everything one wants or needs can be satisfied by believing in an outcome, repeatedly thinking about it, and maintaining positive emotional states to attract the desired outcome." So like I said, I haven't read that book or seen that movie, but I have read the book Mind Power by John Kehoe, which I mentioned recently, and it's about the same thing. There are so many different books and there's so many videos and podcasts all about the law of attraction, which is basically what you think and what you believe will change what happens to you. So I wanted to talk about my thoughts on this, how I put it into practice, and how I reconcile it with my faith as a Christian, because that was a question I had recently as well. Where do I even start? This video is probably going to be rambly. I'm probably going to jump from point to point. This is not a law of attraction for beginners video or how to or anything. I'm just going to share some of my thoughts. So your thoughts being powerful and being able to change what happens to you, I do believe that, but I kind of, at the beginning of this video, want to touch on how I reconcile the law of attraction with my faith as a Christian, because I don't think they're contradictory and I don't think they're mutually exclusive. Because with the law of attraction, you will ask the universe for something, then you will imagine it and focus on it and visualize it and imagine how you would feel after it's already happened, and really immerse yourself in that experience of you've already received this thing, and then that will manifest it. That's kind of the thinking behind it. So to me, doesn't that sound like praying to God and then having faith in an outcome, right? To me it's the same thing. So asking the universe, or the universe will provide, or the universe says yes. When I say the universe, or when I apply that principle of the law of attraction, to me that's God. Like, God is the God of my universe. So if I ask the universe, it means I'm asking God. Or the universe says yes, it means God says yes. To me, that's how I understand it, or how I apply it anyway. It's just another way for me to express my faith. To me, saying I pray for something and then I have faith that it's going to happen, and I hope that it's going to happen, and God may provide, to me that's very, I don't know, it's disempowering. It's like, well, I'll put this out there and hopefully I'll get an answer to my prayer, but we'll see. And that is maybe not displaying pure faith, whereas doing it the way the law of attraction lays out to do it, or the way, you know, it's kind of taught by many law of attraction people, it just seems to me a way to exercise pure faith and really truly put your faith into something and really truly believe that it's going to happen and act as if it has already happened. And so, like I said, for me it's a way of exercising my faith. So your beliefs form your reality. You can have the same experience as somebody else but believe something different about that experience, and you will each have a different experience even though exactly the same thing happened. Your background will influence that, your past experiences will influence that, but your beliefs will affect how you move through the world. And if you can change your beliefs, you can change a lot of what happens to you. An example of this is, I grew up in a household which did not have a lot of money. We didn't have much expendable income. There were 4 children and my parents worked hard, but there wasn't a lot of money. I wouldn't say we were poor, we weren't like dirt poor, but we didn't have luxuries, we didn't have a lot of, you know, kind of things that rich people did or other people did. So that is how I grew up, and then I got married at age 20, And Grant and I started out well, but then we emigrated. Now when you emigrate, you set yourself back financially by like 5 to 10 years. And we emigrated 4 years after we got married, and Grant changed careers. That will also set you back financially. Then we had our first baby and we moved to a new area, and Grant was unemployed for a while, and big long story, we had never really had money. And then finally we were starting to be a little bit more comfortable and a little bit less stressed about money, and we emigrated again. So we've set ourselves back financially, but my whole life, growing up and during my married life, I had this scarcity thinking. Money is hard to come by, there isn't enough money, we can't afford things, and that in turn becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when I first started getting into the law of attraction, that was one of the first things that I wanted to address, is my scarcity mindset and the way I think about money and the way I feel about money. Because I do believe that that was holding us back. You guys know how hard we work. We are hard workers. And yes, we immigrated twice, and yes, Grant has changed careers along the way, and yes, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and that is a choice that we made for our family. But I just felt like we were being held back. And then I actually stopped and thought about the things that we are constantly saying out loud and to ourselves. Things like, we never get ahead. As soon as we earn any extra money, there's a big expense that takes it away again. We can't afford this, we can't afford that. There's never enough money. No matter how hard we work, we just don't seem to get ahead. We were saying these things and believing these things, and guess what? That is what we were getting, because that is the principle of the law of attraction. The principle is that the universe says yes. So if you say, I never have enough money, then yes, that is what you're going to get. If you say there is money to be made, money comes easily, there is an abundance of money, there's an abundance of opportunity to earn, then the universe says yes, and that is what you get. That is the principle of it. Now, I'm not saying that you can sit and go, I want this, I want that, I believe I can have any of these things, and the universe or God is going to say, yes, you can have whatever you want, because wouldn't that be easy? But I really, really do believe that what we say to ourselves and what we believe does shape our reality and what happens to us. So we've stopped saying those kinds of things, and we've already seen a difference. We've stopped saying, I can't afford that. If I'm out shopping and I see something I like, I would normally think, I can't afford that. Now I say, I can buy anything I want. I'm choosing not to buy that today. It's a little bit of a difference. Yes, I'm still not going home with that item, but it's a shift in my thinking. It's a shift from stating as a fact that I can't afford things, because that's not a fact. That's changeable. That's something that can change. Or I could buy that thing if I choose not to buy something else. It's still a choice. A principle of law of attraction is also to behave as if you have already received the thing that you're asking for or the thing that you're wanting. So there's different steps to manifesting something or getting what you want, or having your faith rewarded. Some of the principles are to visualize what you want. I'm going to use our business as an example, the business that we recently bought. When we first got serious about, right, it's time, we need to buy a business, we got serious about picturing exactly what we wanted, and you need to be specific. It was kind of difficult because we didn't know what sector or what exact kind of business we wanted to buy, but there were things about it that we knew we wanted. We knew we wanted it to be a successfully trading business. We knew we wanted it to be something that both Grant and I could be excited about. We preferred to have it be something that we could do from home. There were certain criteria that we wanted from a business, and both of us set to visualizing and imagining working in this business, picturing ourselves in it, picturing how we would feel, picturing how our lives would be, and kind of just bringing to mind and creating in our minds exactly what we wanted. And almost immediately the business that we ended up buying became available. All along the way we kept visualizing, we kept imagining what it would be like to work in this business, how it would feel, how we would feel on settlement day when it became ours, how we would feel picking the orders, how we would feel searching for new products and making that available to our customers, and immersing ourselves in that, experiencing it even though it hadn't already happened, but experiencing how it would feel, how we would feel, how it would work, how our lives would look, and just moving forward knowing this was going to happen. So I guess exercising our faith that we were going to be able to buy this business. So being open to receive is a big thing about law of attraction. When you say things like, I don't have enough money, I can't afford that, that's very closed. That's like, not enough money, end of story, period, end of the sentence. Whereas when you are open to receive, then you're able to receive. So with money, if you're holding onto your money like this, your fist is closed. Yes, you're not going to let money out, but you can't let money in either. So having a much more open mindset and a much more open attitude is putting you in a position to receive more. I have 43 years of scarcity thinking under my belt, and it was not easy to change that. I'm still working on it. I find myself thinking things that I don't want to believe, I no longer want to subscribe to, and I have to make an effort to change my thinking. At one point, I was like looking on YouTube for videos on how to change a scarcity mindset when it's been a part of you for your whole life. And a video I came across, it was quite interesting the way he phrased it. I can't remember the exact video, or I would link it down below, but he said, if you see things like money as scarce and you are locked into the scarcity mindset and you can't think abundantly, then start realizing there's an abundance of scarcity. If you believe there's scarcity, then look at the abundance of scarcity and then start looking beyond that to what is abundant. So if I'm feeling like there's a lot of bills and there's a lot of demands on my money and there's a scarcity of money, you can go, wow, look at the abundance of scarcity. Look back through my whole life, I've had an abundance of scarcity. Look at the abundance of natural beauty around me. Look at the abundance of the blue sky above. Look at the abundance of blades of grass outside as I look out my window. Look at the abundance of dust under the couch. You can find abundance everywhere. When you open a tap, the water just runs. There's an abundance of water running. You can always find something that is abundant. You don't have to decide if it's good or bad. You just have to see the abundance and start to think abundantly and start to realize that there's an abundance of opportunity. There's an abundance of success available in the world. Why shouldn't some of it be yours? Daniel actually said to me, why should we be successful, or why should we have more money? Isn't that, I guess, like hurtful or bad for somebody else in our neighborhood maybe who doesn't have that? But your failure or your lack of success helps nobody. It helps nobody. It doesn't help that person either. Your success can help so many people. If you're successful, if you have an abundance of wealth, if you have money, if you have opportunity, you can help other people with employment opportunities, or by sharing your wealth, or by contributing to causes, or by being an example of success. Success can help so many people around you. Failure or lack of success helps nobody. You're not doing anybody any favors by holding yourself back. It's almost your duty to become successful. Now, a huge key of law of attraction is gratitude. That is a huge, very important central part of law of attraction. If you want a particular car, if you want like a really nice, new, modern, reliable, beautiful car, and you are hankering after this car, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way, wanting material things or wanting nice things. It's when those things become your idol and more important than other things in your life that there's a problem there. But wanting nice things is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you're willing to work to get them. So let's say you want this nice car and you're driving a crappy old piece of junk, and you resent this car because it's not this big fancy car that you want, and you saying, oh, my car sucks, this is so horrible. Universe is going to go, yes, your car sucks. Are you ever going to get a good car? No. You need to be immersed in gratitude, be so grateful. Yes, you have a piece of junk car, but it gets you from A to B. You have a car, it's working today. Just be grateful for what you have, be immersed in gratitude. And by that I mean, don't just go, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, but really feel it, really allow yourself to dwell on that emotion of gratitude and to really like feel what a wonderful gift it is, and be grateful for what you have, and then you are more likely to have that added to. Law of attraction is about attracting more of what you have. So if you're thinking negatively about your car, you're not going to attract a better car. If you're thinking positively about your car or your situation, then you can attract more of those positive feelings. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Like I said, totally not an expert. These are just some of the things I've picked up as I've learned about the law of attraction. And gratitude is so important. And like I said, tying it back to my faith, when I express gratitude or feel that gratitude for what I have, it's towards God. All good things come from God, and I'm grateful to Him for the things that I've been blessed with. I'm not like, I manifested this, I wanted this, and I feel so grateful to the universe that I have this, and I expect more and I want more. That's not how it works for me personally. For me, it's being grateful to God, being so grateful for everything that I have, and having faith that I will be further blessed. Not because I'm entitled to it, or not because I think I deserve it, but because I believe in a loving God, and because I'm doing my part towards becoming successful, and I have faith that He will bless my efforts. I have a vision board. Now you can look at all different kinds of YouTube videos or posts on the internet about how to make a vision board, and a lot of them will say get a big piece of card and then cut out all things from magazines and then stick them in, and that's your vision board. And that would actually make my brain fry. So I sat down and I wrote down 9 goals. Some are short-term goals, some are long-term goals, some are more within my control, and some are more beyond my control. And I have made these 9 goals into 9 pictures, and I've stuck them on my vision board in my bedroom, and I'll show you that here. But I'm going to blank out the actual goals, well, some of them, because they are personal. I'm not here to share all of my personal goals and dreams with the internet, but this is how my vision board looks. It's very clean and simple and basic. It's opposite my bed. I see it every single day, and these are the goals that I can look at and be reminded of what I'm working towards. Making a vision board isn't about sticking a bunch of pictures up and going, that's what I want. It's not like writing your Christmas list to Santa. That's not how it works. It's there to make physical your dream. You can physically see it, even though that's not actually you perhaps in a picture. Like, let's say you want to be fit and run a marathon, and you put a picture of somebody running a marathon. That's not actually you in the picture, but it's still making your goal physical, making a physical image of your goal. And that helps to make it a reality. That's going to help to attract it. Is putting a picture up of you running a marathon and seeing that every day going to make you be able to run a marathon? No, obviously you're going to have to train. By the way, none of my pictures features me running a marathon. That is not one of my goals. I'm just using it as an example. But waking up every day and seeing your vision board and seeing that picture of somebody running a marathon is going to remind you of your goal, of what you want. It's going to put it back into your head. You're going to be visualizing it. You're going to remember to do your visualization. Imagine yourself running it. Imagine how you feel as you complete that marathon. And it's also going to remind you to work towards it. So my goals, when I wake up and I look at my vision board, I see things that I want. I see goals that I want to achieve. And then I think, what can I do today to work towards each one of those goals? Maybe not every single goal, every single day, but to focus on each one individually at times is going to bring me closer to them than if it's just in the back of my mind as something I'd like to do one day. The thing about the law of attraction is it is a universal law that is in place whether you believe it or not. It's still working. Like, you can choose to believe in gravity or not, but gravity is still holding you down, whether you think it's gravity doing it or not. It's just a law of physics that is in place and is working. When you actually start to open your eyes to the law of attraction and look around, look at yourself and look at other people, you can see it working. You can see people who are perpetually negative and down, just negative all the time about things. They attract more of that into their life. You can see people who focus on the positive, focus on good things, focus on success, focus on their goals, and they get more of that into their life. You can look at it the way it's explained by some people as vibrations. You're raising your vibrational level. It's kind of maybe a bit beyond me to start talking about things like that. But one of the things that I learned was that once you raise your vibrational level and you become more positive and more successful, and you build success into your life, you never go down again. So if you think of people who have made millions of dollars and then lost it all, because we all have free will and we also all have things happen to us that are beyond our control, but you can see people who have achieved that kind of success, lost it all, but then they go on to be as successful or even more successful again later. It's because they've already attained that level of success and they vibrating to that level, and they are able to attain it again. It's not starting from scratch. You're not going to go backwards. So at the end of the day, is thinking positively, thinking abundantly, focusing on your goals, visualizing good things, is that a bad thing? No. And law of attraction, you may think it's just a placebo idea. That's fine. See my video on things I just don't get, people dismissing the placebo effect. Same end result. Works for me. So in my video, when I said so many things happened along the way when we were buying our business that I can only put down to law of attraction, I kind of mean I can only put down to God's hand in our life. It's the same thing to me. Not because I believed it, I believe it came from God. So I think you can get a bit prideful and a bit me with the law of attraction. Like, look at all these amazing things that I manifested into my life. Aren't I amazing? It's not you, it's the universe or it's God. But I do still feel that we have a part to play in manifesting these blessings. I use the law of attraction for little things, like when I drive into town and I'm going in a particular place, I visualize that there's going to be a parking space right there, and guess what? It works 99% of the time. It's amazing. And there isn't just like free parking everywhere. You can drive all the way up and down the high street and not see a single open space. But when I go and I visualize, I tell Noah I'm putting out my parking vibes. I've been doing it for years, and he used to laugh at me, and now he's like, put out your parking vibes. There's like no parking, and I'll be like, I'm on it, and there will be a parking space right where I want to go. So I've been doing that for years, visualizing parking spaces. So that's just a little thing. An example of putting into practice a principle of behaving as if it's already happened and then being open to receive is, I'm working 3 jobs now. I've got 3 businesses to run, and I just don't have time to clean my house anymore. That was one of the first things that I had to address when we bought this business. Also, I just don't want to. So I rang up a cleaning lady that was recommended to me. She has a business, and she came over and chatted to me about what I wanted, and obviously had a look at the house and discussed her services. And I was all ready to go for it. The weekly amount was fine. And then she told me that before I begin with the weekly clean with her company, I needed to pay for a big deep clean. It was $300, and she would send out a team, and they do everything. They clean the house from top to toe, and it's like a baseline clean that they then do their weekly clean on. And when she initially said it was $300, my scarcity thinking kicked in, and I said to her, oh, okay, I'll let you know. That wasn't really what I was expecting. I totally understand it, and it's cool, but it wasn't really in the budget right now, so I'll get back to you. And she was like, yep, that's fine, just let me know when you're ready to go ahead. And then after she left, Grant and I were talking, and I was saying, there's that scarcity thinking again. I am going to move ahead as if I've received that $300. I'm going to be open to receive it. I'm going to believe I'm going to receive it, and I'm going to just go ahead. I'm going to practice abundant thinking, and I'm going to book that clean, and I know that that $300 will come to me. And he was like, go for it. So I got back to that lady and I said, yep, I'd like to go ahead. And she's like, okay, we'll come around next Wednesday, whatever. And I set it up. A few days later, I was going through my inbox. I now have 5. I had 3 inboxes, and they were all chock-a-block, and I was like, I need to get on top of my emails and just go through everything and just sort my life out, basically. And I was going through an inbox, and I found an old email from August for something that I hadn't been paid for, that I had no idea was sitting there. And I contacted the company in question, and I said, is this right? Like, I haven't got this on my records. And they were like, yep, we owe you that money. Send us an invoice and we'll pay you $350. And I was like, there's the money. It came. It was so amazing to me. And I was so grateful. And I was like, the law of attraction works. It's amazing. Another example is when we went up to Auckland, we spent 2 days there. Well, we went up on the Thursday and came back on the Friday. So we had 2 partial days there. And the settlement date for transfer of the business was on the Friday. And all along we'd been saying, oh, we want to finish up by 2, hit the road because of the Auckland traffic. And then once we got up there, on the way up, we saw the traffic and we were like, actually, it's going to be Friday afternoon. We're going to want to get out of here sooner. So hopefully we'll hit the road by 1. And we were busy on the Friday with doing the handover training and packing up the stock and loading it into the trailer. And transfer hadn't happened and transfer hadn't happened. And we were just waiting. We'd finally done everything we needed to do. Everything was loaded up and we were ready to go home, but transfer hadn't happened. And Grant and I were just waiting about, and the vendor said to us, well, if you walk around the corner, there's a place to eat. Go and have some lunch. They'll phone us when transfer happens. Like, there's nothing we could do there, and it was coming up for lunchtime. So we went around the corner, and I said to Grant, you know, like, that's so disappointing that it didn't complete earlier. We really wanted to hit the road by 1, but that's okay. Like, initially we were saying we wanted to be done by 2. As we were eating our lunch, I said to Grant, all along we've been saying out loud and telling people we want to be done by 2. This is going to happen at 2 o'clock. That's what we've put out, and that is what we're attracting. So we're eating our lunch, and I'm watching my watch, and it's 1:45, and I'm eating, and it's 1:50, and I'm eating, and it's 1:55, and I didn't put in the next mouthful, and I waited, and bang on 2 o'clock, my phone rang, and I picked up the phone, and it was our lawyer, and she said transfers just happened, and I just burst out laughing. I was like, 2 o'clock, we put that out there, and that is what we got. We finished at 2. The more specific you are, the better. Now, I know there's going to be plenty of people going, oh, that's just a coincidence. These things are just coincidences. That's fine if that's what you want to believe. If I choose to believe it's law of attraction and that the things I'm doing are making a difference to me and making me more successful or have more opportunities, that's fine too. I'm quite happy to live that way. I put the credit where credit's due. I give credit to God for all the blessings that we have and for all the success that we do attain and for rewarding our faith, and that's good enough for me. Everyone's entitled to believe what they want to believe, and I believe that the law of attraction is a thing, that the energy that you put out attracts more of the same energy, and if it makes me be a more positive, better person, then it's all good, right? So those are just some of my rookie thoughts on the law of attraction, and I haven't shared a lot of examples. Some are quite personal, but I've seen a difference since putting it into practice. And yes, it is confirmation bias. Like, if you buy a particular car, all of a sudden you're going to see that car everywhere. That model of car was always around you on the road, but you didn't notice it until it became something that you were focused on, and now you see it everywhere. And yeah, it's the same thing, but it's a positive thing. I don't think it's a negative thing at all, at least not the way I use it in my life. So anyway, those are my rookie thoughts. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Do you practice the law of attraction? Do you see it make a difference in your life? Do you think following the law of attraction and being a Christian or of any other faith is mutually exclusive? I'd love to know your thoughts on that too. Please keep it respectful down in the comments. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs, and I'd really like this to be a positive space where we can all share our thoughts and ideas. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And I've just finished my video, and it's 11:11. Make a wish.